yellow, black and yellow, black and... Hey guys, I'm Alex.
And I'm Taylor.
And we are from the Degrassi Experience.
And today, we are here to tell you more about our favorite cringeworthy episodes.
Part 2. So the first cringeworthy moment that we have for you is when Manny and Craig go on their first date.
And both of them remember the date, like, varied. Like, no one remembers the same thing. But Craig's version is, like, the cringeworthiest.
Their opposite stories are hilarious.
Yeah. Manny is, like, a 5-year-old girl, and she goes up to everything. She's like, oh, I love the balloons and the clowns. And the cotton candy. Yummy, yum, yum.
Like, I'm cringing right now.
And then he was like, it feels like I'm kissing my sister. And I was like, it's just funny because he's like, they're related.
Oh, because Angie's his sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. And even Manny was kind of like, the date was okay. You know, it seemed kind of strange. Like, I don't know. And then she, like, goes up to his locker and she's like, what can I do to make Craig like me? And then she creates, like, this horrific love shrine on his locker.
And he doesn't like
and
her.
He's like, no, Manny.
But they do get back together.
Oh,
yes, they do. Aw.
That was not good.
Craig, you don't do good things for girls.
Mm-hmm.
The next one we have for you, if you guys remember when Ellie and Marco were, like, young on the show. So, when they were becoming friends, Ellie was sparking an interest in Marco, and she didn't know he was gay yet. She was sending him little, like, gothic love letters on their little Degrassi, like, instant messaging thing. What did it say?
S as in secret, I admire you from AFR, something like XO bad rhymer.
It was just...
So Marco was like, oh, I love his writing too. And then Hazel was like, I'm going to try and get with Marco. So, like, Marco thought it was Hazel. And then he meets her here and is like, I'm supposed to be meeting Hazel here. And she was like...
And it was just one more thing to put sadness on that poor, poor girl.
Oh my God.
Such an Ellie fan.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. Ugh. While we're on that subject, can we talk about when they get older and they hook up?
That was sort of cringeworthy as well.
It was a little bit like...
I was like...
Like, when I saw the previews, I was like...
Mm-hmm. What?
What just happened? I mean, it's Degrassi.
Right.
Anything can happen, but...
So true.
Yeah.
It was strange.
It just went a little too far.
I was like, oh my.
The next thing we have is when Spinner gets a boner in class.
Yeah.
They're in Miss Kwan's class.
Yeah, teaches you to never wear basketball shorts during the class. It was, and he thinks it's because of, like, Emma's food project that she's doing, the healthy foods, making him get them. And then the lunch lady's like, it's puberty.
It was Emma's fault.
But, like, Paige and him are doing, like, this improv, and, like, Paige is playing some lonely housewife, and then she turns him around. And it is exposed.
And he runs out of the class, like, and Miss Kwan's like, Gavin?
Oh, Miss Kwan.
What happened to Miss Kwan?
Another one sucked into the Degrassi Bermuda trunk. Okay.
The next cringeworthy moment, this was, for me, my whole body was cringing, is when Hazel and Paul, who plays Claire, comes into school dressed as, like, a punk rock girl. She approaches Eli, and he's like, who are you? And she's like, I thought you'd like it. And she's, like, dressed in the punk garb. Like, oh, Claire. Oh, and when she's like, live dangerously, I was like, oh, no. Claire Edwards, you do not live dangerously.
No.
I'm sorry. But no.
Just no.
I cringed.
Oh. The next one. This was a bad one. When a certain cheerleader has a certain accident while taking diet pills. I think we all know who we're talking about here.
Oh, can we just talk about for a second when Casey's like, I love your body. I was like, that is a cringeworthy moment.
Mm-hmm. Just no.
And when she has her accident, who does she call to bring her another pair of clothing? Casey?
No, I'm sorry. If that happens to me, I'm not calling any attractive male into the vicinity.
I mean, you guys must be meant to be together if you're that comfortable with each other. Kudos. Yeah. The next thing we have for you is when Jimmy tells Ashley to get out. Yeah, on this episode, Jimmy is, like, spending a lot of time over at Ashley's house because his parents work a lot. Ashley's like, no, Mom, I don't want him to come over for dinner tonight.
And that's why she was, like, maybe waiting to break up. She's like, oh, but it's his birthday. Toby overhears it and, like, tells him. And then so he's like, what, were you going to break up with me? Because you just should. And she's like, no, Jimmy, it's your birthday. And he was like, did you hear me? Get out. And he, like, kicks her out of the house. Ooh.
And then he orders a lonely pizza.
Yeah, he was like, hello, Antonio? Yeah, the usual. Extra pepperoni? Yeah. I was like, oh, even your pizza is cringeworthy.
How could you break up with Drizzy on the show? What's wrong with you? Remember what happened to Hazel?
She entered the Degrassi Bermuda Triangle.
Remember that time?
Mm-hmm. You don't?
Oh, the next thing, which is also Ashley related, is when Ashley and Shauna hook up for a hot minute.
Season 1.
A little awkward. They had a moment.
She was a little on E, and he was a little not over Emma.
They were
jumping on the rebound.
It's just like two bad situations colliding.
Right. So she's like, hey, Jimmy.
Like, I don't even think she knew what happened.
And then she called Paige a hag. And also in that episode, when JT and Toby are supposed to be taking the E, and Sean's like, not happening.
Oh, it's like a vitamin C tablet.
Yeah, so you give them some kind of vitamin C tablet to make them think that they're on a... It was so cringeworthy for us to watch them. Like,
so funny.
Oh my!
But Ashley, who takes the real pill, is actually
even more cringeworthy.
Messed up.
Yeah. And then she turns gothic because she's like, Achoki.
I'm sorry. Ashley Gothic phase, get out.
It gave way to Ellie becoming more of a key player. So I was like, yay, Ellie.
We love Ellie. The next thing we have is when Holly J gets rejected by Blue.
Ooh, roasted.
And in that episode, Holly J, like, really feels like she needs to lose her virginity. And I think it's Shantae who's like, what? Nobody here is a virgin, right?
Yeah.
No. And then she's, like, doing this art project with Blue. They're, like, on the couch, and she's like, I have a condom. And he's like, I'm not going to have sex with you. And it's like, ooh, major rejection.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You did all right for yourself.
Yeah, she bounced back. She
got a coin.
Mm-hmm. You
had a coin.
True.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
The next one's really funny.
I love this. Oh, this is like old school Degrassi at its finest. Is when
so good.
JT, to like ward off Liberty's like love of him, decides he's gonna pretend to be gay. The best. I'm supposed to pick a student to do a story for the Grapevine, and I pick you. And he was like, he pretends to be gay, so he sees her in the hallway, and he like goes up, hey, Liberty girlfriend. She was like, I had no idea.
Can we take a moment to appreciate JT? Just a moment of silence. Thank you.
Why did it have to happen?
We love you.
And then Liberty finds out. She's like, if you didn't want to, then like you should have just told me. I'm so lying. And JT was like, ooh.
I don't know. I guess they just needed a build-up.
Yes, because they were just destined from the beginning. It just had to happen.
She was just in love with him, and she wore her overalls and her cowgirl boots.
Oh, she buys those red cowgirl.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa. Those were a cringeworthy moment in themselves.
The next thing that we have for you is when
Craig and Marco, and who does he see also there to buy condoms?
Joey Jeremiah.
So that was interesting. I'm here to just pick up these because, you know, we're like...
That line,
ooh,
Joey glove, no love.
Joey Jeremiah, oh my.
Just put a bag over my head.
Oh, no.
Like, I can't even watch that through this. Like, another cringeworthy moment is Marco's first date with Dylan. And Marco was just so nervous.
He got scared of the bee in the car.
And his outfit was a little bit...
Here's the hat, and he's like, how do I look? And Dylan was like, it's the hat, isn't it?
He tried.
Yeah.
And the next thing that we have for you is when Terry decides to breathe through all of her lines, and she looks ridiculous. And Rick thinks it's like really realistic and like wonderful acting.
And Jimmy was director. He was like, let's not try that again.
Terry's like internal monologue was like, oh my god, if I don't keep breathing, he's gonna hit me. Like,
I'm there, son. Mama is here. Mark was like, Mama.
The next thing we have is when Sav and Anya have their first time.
Ooh, just no.
They get it on in the back of the limo. And Anya's feeling very, what am I trying to
Threatened.
Think? Threatened, or there's another word. Yeah, but there's another word I wanted.
I do not know.
Anyway. She's feeling very threatened because Farah is actually not nice. As you know, like, Anya went through the whole struggle. They never accepted Anya. So at prom, he had to take Farah, even though he was technically Anya's date. They, like, picked her up, didn't they?
Yeah, because he wants to have the pictures taken somewhere else, because,
that's
like,
so wrong.
yeah, that
Poor
was
Anya. Farah expresses to Samantha Monroe.
We like to interchange
I can't think of their
names
character names anymore. Anya. She expresses to Anya that she actually does like Sav, and she's like, girl, I'm getting him. And then Anya's like, well, I'm gonna go get busy in the limo now. Like, and that's what she does.
Yeah.
It lasts for like a minute, and it's like,
yeah, almost as bad as Bandari.
Backwoods Bandari.
Yeah, when she lost
in the van. And then she hates herself.
Yeah.
I felt dirty and I didn't want him to touch me.
Oh, it was bad.
And she's like, just you, just me. It's perfect. And like, she really thinks that's how it's going to be at the ravine.
Oh yeah, the ravine.
Our next most cringeworthy moment is the twincest.
Yeah.
Between Fiona and Declan.
Fiona is...
cray-cray.
Yeah, to put it lightly. And she was like, you want some of this? And kisses Declan. And that causes a whole mess of problems. Yeah.
So she goes and Max on her brother. What?
I saw that and I was like, no, not good. It went there and I was not okay with it.
It just got real.
So our next moment is when the creepy coach of the basketball team coach decides to take KC to his, like, creepy hotel.
After the banquet.
Yeah. Get him drunk.
We see in Jenna when they were first getting together. And she stole him from Claire. Claire did better for herself.
Exactly.
Just saying. He takes Casey to the hotel room and, like, shows him some bad things.
Yeah.
And gives him some bad things to drink.
Yeah,
and
meanwhile, the entire, like, watching crowd of Degrassi fans is like, that's not cool.
Like, he has a gun. And they arrest him.
Okay.
The next most cringeworthy moment,
yeah.
and I love them, but it's also a little awkward, was the hammock scene between Claire and Eli. First of all, it's adorable. They're, like, laying in the hammock and, like, they're on different levels. And they had to shoot a scene, so sure. But then when Eli is like, would it be corny if I said mine already did? Oh, no! And in the beginning of the scene, Aislinn is like, the stars are out. And I'm like, oh, are they?
Really?
Really?
I have this thing.
It's cute, but I'm cringing. I
don't think that two people should share a hammock.
Is that awkward?
Ever. To me, that is cringeworthy. I'm never sharing a hammock with somebody.
Aislinn and Monroe, if you were watching this, was it awkward to be in the hammock together?
I feel like it would be.
Maybe it wasn't. Oh, the next one that we have.
Oh, this is when they have to do, like, the dance thing, the ballroom dancing for the gym class. And the dance instructor is, like, taking roll call and goes, Gracie Torres? And I went,
dum dum dum.
No. Adam was like,
this isn't happening.
And then
Bianca's
like, I think your last name Torres.
No.
And then he's like,
sorry.
Wrong list. Adam Torres. It was, like, smooth.
I love that episode, though.
Really good episode.
Jordan Todesy, you're amazing. I'm crying. That was just cringeworthy because I was so embarrassed for her. So our final most cringeworthy moment is when Craig crashes Ashley's dad's wedding.
And they were finally, like, back together and, like, happy again or whatnot. And they go to the hotel room that same episode and he decides to, like, gallop on into the dad's wedding.
And Ashley's mom is like, don't bring Craig.
And then...
Not allowed.
There he is. Like,
no. Oh, he proposed to her.
The mom was like,
oh.
He's like, Craig? No. That was when he was really, like, in his bipolar fits. That was definitely cringeworthy. That's part 2 of cringeworthy moments. There's so many, and I'm sure there's more to come. If you have a favorite cringeworthy moment,
let us know.
Yes, let us know. Have a good holiday.
Merry Christmas.
Woohoo.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa.
Winter solstice.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All that good stuff.
Exactly.
So thanks for watching.
Bye.
It's still Emma's fault.